the word proof, as far as it's used within this conversation, has several different definitions. But at this point, I think we could just let it suffice to say that it doesn't matter why Delano believes the Earth is flat. It doesn't matter why he believes it. We're talking about a belief system which would suggest we're on a spinning ball hurtling through an empty void. You know the story. Versus people saying, I don't believe that. Now, not believing that does not require that you have a perfect explanation for everything that is. Even the official explanation for everything that is far from complete. So, it is not incumbent upon Delano to provide evidence for the spinning ball. And when he says, I believe the Earth is flat because the Bible, doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's flat. It doesn't take away from the fact that the ball has not been scientifically validated, verified, demonstrated, proven. So, I don't care if someone goes out there all day long preaching biblical flat earth. I don't care. That's their reason for believing it. However, it doesn't mean that I'm endorsing those arguments. I'm just not endorsing debating itself. I think the debate's over. There's no need to debate it. I'm not going to go debate someone who's asserting that the moon is made out of cheese until he provides me reasonable evidence to suggest that this might be the case. But I'm not going to waste my time. And same with the spinning ball thing. I mean, prove it, bring some evidence, show us some compelling reason to think it's a ball, and until you do, I'm just going to think you have a quirky explanation for the reason why things work. Which, it's an explanation, but I'm not satisfied with. An explanation which doesn't fit the requirements of being labeled a scientifically established fact. Some people make arguments, Delano in particular, against the ball Earth from a place of incredulity. Arguments from incredulity, like Dell pouring water on a soccer ball. It doesn't stick to a soccer ball. Well, maybe that's not the best argument, technically speaking, in terms of forensic debate. However, again, it doesn't matter why someone doesn't believe it. I'm just happy that people are out there saying they don't believe it, because it's okay not to believe. Now, is it okay to not recognize facts? Well, that's a rejection of reality, and that's delusion. So, for example, not believing in the spinning ball doesn't require the rejection of any facts, because the ball is a collection of unproven assertions. Believing flat Earth doesn't require belief. It's not a belief. And that's what all of the opponents of it get wrong. Flat Earth is not a belief. It's the absence of the spinning ball. So you could make the argument that, as a flat earther, you are in fact not a flat earther. You're just someone who doesn't accept the spinning ball premise. This preposterous notion. You've rejected it. And what are you by default? Well, they call you a flat earther. This is their own name. It's like conspiracy theorist. It is a controlled opposition name. You're just an earther. You're just a created being. A sentient, ensouled being having an experience here in this world which has been misrepresented to you by your leadership and by those you trust and by centuries of tradition and bad habit, bad faith, malfeasance, overt deception, mind war, psychological warfare, mind fuckery. The globe is a containment unit for the human imagination. The globe is a containment unit designed to keep people from even trying to pull at their chains. The idea is, when it comes to control, is that the best controlled, the best policed are those who control and police themselves. You don't want to have to micromanage. You don't want to have to rule people with an iron fist. So you put the police officer in their head. You cause them to police one another. And so you teach them to tell one another, hey, it's not okay to not believe what the authority figure said. That guy with the badge said this, trust him. That guy with that emblem around his neck said that, trust him. Oh, look at that guy. He has a stethoscope. Trust that one. That one over there's got a bow tie. Total credulity. Utmost confidence in that guy. He's got a bow tie. You see how that works? Oh, coming out of the TV screen, any faces projected from that box in the corner will be accepted without question. That's what the thought police do. And by thought police, I mean the people in your life who tell you it's not okay to question these sources. And that's what the system did. It's self-policing. So when you think you're, quote, debating with a lot of these globe lovers, all you're really doing is you're fighting with, or you're being attacked by, the immune system of this apparatus, which uses the mechanism of a self-policing populace to maintain itself, to maintain its invisible rule. It's an invisible cage. The globe is an invisible cage. And that's all. You know, if you see through it, that's all you need to know. So Delano TV, big channel, reaching a lot of new people with these ideas. It's like, I don't care if he doesn't talk about the formula to determine the curvature of the Earth. I don't care if he's not up there debunking the ISS, which is eminently debunkable. I don't care if he's not calling out space agencies left and right and trying to point by point say, hey, look, there's a harness. Hey, look, there's augmented virtual reality. Hey, look, there's a bubble. Hey, look, there's a moth. I don't care if he doesn't do that. There are enough of us doing that anyway. The case has been made. The case has been made that there's no reason to believe in the globe except for a desire to believe in something. But there is no valid reason to know it's true. So in other words, you may believe you're on a spinning ball, but you don't know it. You may also believe you're on a flat stationary plane, but you have more reason to know it as a statement of fact. There's no leap of faith to say, this shit doesn't move. There's no stellar parallax. A lot of things don't add up. It appears to be flat and stationary. There's no leap there. Whereas you have Curvert saying, oh no, there is curve over there. There is curve. And in one of Delano's conversations today, because he invited some guests on, she pretty much admitted it. She said, you know how you believe in a God? Well, you believe that there's a curve there. Like, you know, you're hearing the terminology here, where I think people are going to wake up to the fact that what they thought was knowledge was in fact belief. And ultimately, that's what this podcast, this blog, this record of my thoughts is about. It's about determining where what we know ends and what we believe begins. As Crow 777 says, belief is the enemy of knowledge. You know, faith is not a virtue. Faith is not a virtue. It's been sold to you as such, but that's a lie. Faith is not a virtue. Faith is a handicap that you impose upon yourself. It's a kick-me sign for the powers that be, for the predatory elite and all their institutions to prey upon you. If you're faithful, it means you're obedient. And is it necessarily a good thing to be obedient? Does being obedient make you virtuous? No. No. But the people who would have you obeying them would like you to think so. And so when I hear someone like Delano and others who are just angrily saying, I don't buy any of this shit, that's all I need to hear to listen to them and to give them my attention and to share their content, because we need to show that there is no consensus. We're breaking a consensus. Now is not the time for finesse. Now is not the time for a calm parsing of the facts. We've already done that. It's already been done. It's been done again and again. And the same cannot be said for the globe. The globe is an imposition, and it contains within it and requires and instills a toxic ideology and self-hatred for all mankind. It's one of the reasons why the globe has to go. 2018, the year the Earth goes flat. I mean, it's always been flat, but 2018 is the year that we awaken to this thing. And the changes to come, if I had to guess, I would say it would be equivalent to the way that literacy has changed the world. We're going to become literate, cognizant of reality in a whole new way. Thank you for listening.